This is Lynn Logic, episode 44, Adventures of the Chaos Lady and Mr. Hayes. I just got back from DC and New York and wanted to share. I also wanted to share a little bit of how I see things. I will always find the beauty in laughter. It's how I survive so much. Quick recap. I am the widow of a cross-dressing alcoholic and a survivor of a blood clot in my brain caused by birth control pills that resulted in a hysterectomy. I am the daughter of a man who spent 23 years in prison. I am well versed in trauma. Those are just the big three. It may seem that I am a personification of Murphy's Law, but I do love to laugh. I have a 25-year work history in accounting and operations in real estate, car dealerships, and hotels. I also have a BA in psychology. I love patterns, numbers, and categories. Always have. Lynn Logic is the result of that love. Go ahead, like and subscribe. It costs nothing, unlike coffee, weed, or bad decisions, and you know we are not giving those up. So stay and watch so I can get my watch hours up. Check out the combined videos of my narrative and the worst day ever for a crash course. Let's get started. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 1. Why I packed light bulbs. Ma'am, why are you packing light bulbs? Exclaimed Mr. Hayes. The short response I gave him was, leave me the fuck alone. The actual answer, sir, I am 46 and we are going on a road trip. I still have women's issues even after the hysterectomy, and I still have headache issues after the blood clot. The light bulbs are the sanest shit I packed. But think about it, ladies. How would you pack for a 12-day road trip? What creature comforts from home will you sneak in? What things do you know the hotel won't provide but you'll need? What things could the person you're traveling with need but not think about? This was how I packed. And yet, after all that, I forgot baby wipes. Hotel paper is not friendly on the bum. I forgot them until Mr. Hayes said we needed some. And I'm the one with an unnatural obsession with having them. Never had a baby, but I love their wipes. Keep in mind, for this trip, it was two Tauruses that went together. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 2. DC, white, gray, and rats. The drive to DC was fun and filled with laughter and music. In fact, every drive was like that. Man, if I was in the crowd in Gladiator and when he asked, "Are you not entertained?" my response would be, "You know what? Yeah, I am. I'm always entertained." We get to DC and we start unpacking the car. Let me paint the picture for you. Everything in DC is white and gray, including walkways, painted gray. With that color choice, for someone who is not spatially aware like me, everything sort of blends, and I lose depth perception. So I missed that last little gray step and went down hard on my left knee. I'm a big bitch. That's a lot of weight to hit one knee and on cement. I gave into the fall and went all the way down, and Mr. Hayes immediately went to help me up. That shit knocked the wind out of me, so I just put up one finger and said, "I'm gonna need a minute." And I stayed there, massaging my knee and my pride, then bounced up and continued with the task. But yeah, seems like DC likes women on their knees. Look at that bad boy. And because everything is so gleaming white, do you know what you can see really well? All the rats. I had no idea that DC had an actual rodent problem, at least on the streets and under the ground. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 3. The Mighty White Penis. We set out on foot the next morning. We couldn't see much of the White House due to construction, but at least the workers were jamming out to Thriller. The Lincoln Memorial was shut down in preparation for an exhibit for 2026. The Smithsonian was closed, but from every point in the city, you can see the Washington Monument. It was like some sort of Caucasian erect dick in the middle of the city, reminding you that white men run this country. And to make matters worse, it used to be one height until the height was increased. You can see the two colors of the stone, as if to say, "We shall make the white penis mightier." What happened? You get tired of having to explain to women that you're a grower, not a shower? Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 4. Scooters, no-no zones, and Arlington tears. Mr. Hayes suggested electric scooters to continue throughout the city, and I would like to take a moment here to share something about myself. I will always want to operate heavy machinery, and then something with a motor too. My only problem is it's not bigger. I have a drive a tank on my bucket list. I am a huge Tank Girl fan. My basic goal with driving the electric scooter is that I just want to make it go as fast as it can. Honestly, I only started riding with my hand on the brake towards the end. I didn't want to use it. Smartly, I was following along for most of the ride. In fact, the few times I was in front leading, a few things occurred that were examples of why I was following and not leading. We're riding on the sidewalk faster than I ought to have been going. There was a group of people up ahead taking over the bulk of the sidewalk. Now remember that bit about not wanting to use the brake? I had a thought. I wonder if these work on grass, can they go off-road? If not, then brake. But they could. And I happily yelled out, "You can take these off-road?" And I heard people laughing behind me. Good. Another time I was leading, we were riding past the White House where the protesters were, and I got distracted by signs and music and thought the sidewalk had a dippy down. Negative, Ghost Rider. I jumped the curb and landed it. A protester looked at me wide-eyed and I just laughed. But I did pick up the scooter to get it on the other side. To be fair, Mr. Hayes and I both had the bright idea to ride it in the no-no zone before we knew there was a no-no zone. But in my defense, it did mean there were fewer obstacles for me to tackle, and I went super fast and off-road. It was really safer for other people and other scooter riders. I do want to take a moment and say, my life is always like this. Everything is an adventure. Something will always happen, and it will always get weird, and I love it. I won't ever run out of content either. When we got back to the hotel, we had gotten kicked out for smoking in the room. Oops. This one is on both of us. We should have acted like adults. So the situation was fixed, and we moved to another hotel. The next day was spent at Arlington Cemetery. Both of our grandfathers were World War II vets, so it was on both of our lists to go. I gotta tell you, it is so difficult to explain the size of it, but the massive weight of grief throughout it, it was palpable. It was heavy. And I walked through it in tears. And it just kept going, sprawling out. And at the top of the hill, in the background, you could see the mighty white penis. Just for that little perspective. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 5. Mr. Hayes live in the road to New York. On this trip, there was one thing I was excited about seeing, and that was seeing Mr. Hayes perform live for the first time. I had only seen videos, and when I say I wasn't disappointed, that is such the understatement. This is someone who is amazing at working the stage and the crowd and loves comedy and performing. At one show, I watched a group of old white people laugh harder at him than they did for the friend they came to see. He is hilarious across the board, from physical humor to quick wit humor to his actual written material. Damn, that is a funny man. Follow him on social media, Cage to Stage, and Prince O'Funny. Take a look at this artist in his element.
I mean, like, I understand why y'all left the first time. Like, I get why y'all left the South the first time. You know, white folk tripping. I get it. I would have left too. But I'm saying, like, y'all could have came back after shit cooled off. That's all I'm saying. Y'all could have came back and got us. You know what I mean? Because I'm way down south. Like, I'm so southern, my GPS changed once I got here. I'm not even bullshit. Like, half of the way to South Carolina, I'm talking about I had a little precious white lady. In a quarter mile, make a left here. In 38 miles, take exit 1B onto the off-ramp. I got further and further up in this bitch. I'm talking about then the southern in me came out. My fucking he's like, hey buddy, look here. I don't know where in the fuck you think you're going, buddy, but you know your black ass is too far. We ain't never been this far in our goddamn life. So here's what the fuck we gonna do. Goddamn, you gonna goddamn get there the best you can, and we're gonna fucking ride this bitch out road tight or ride some bitch. You know what I mean? Finna take these glasses off. White people, y'all comfortable? Y'all okay? I can take these off? Y'all feel safe now? Okay. Yeah, these are all right. Because I read a study that said white people aren't afraid of black people with glasses and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that Negro can't rob me. He has astigmatism. Can't shoot what you can't see, Tyrone. Where am I? Ron Cena can't see me for real, can you? I'm blurry. I'm talking about, man, hey, Ron, man, that's some cool shit. You know what I mean? Y'all got a lot of safe Negroes up here, too. I'm serious. Like, I feel safe as hell up here. Because I'm from the South. Like I said, you hear a lot of shit about D.C., and I got up there, I'm like, shit. All these educated Negroes, even y'all homeless people are educated. I was shocked by that. See, in the South, homeless people, excuse me, man. Young man, you got $2, I can get me something to eat. You know what I mean? I had a homeless dude walk up to me, pardon me, sir. For difficult times and tragedies have befallen me, which require me to make this request of thee, confine it in thine heart, to loan me $2 until tomorrow. I met a homeless man with a cash app. I was like, what the fuck? Where did you get this shit from? You know what I mean? He's like, no, don't even worry about it. My cash app is I need to hold something immediately. I want to check that. You know what I mean? Y'all forgive me. I grew up in a predominantly black household. You know, I grew up in one of them households where, you know, where we used to get cussed out like before church, and then we would have to watch our mother and father go to church and act like they going to heaven first. You know what I mean? See, white people, y'all don't identify with that, huh? That's sweet. Ain't nothing like you know what I'm talking about, though. You still cut your grandbabies out before church. You here trying to blend in with the good folk. I see you, baby. I understand. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? You're trying to play safe and everything. I get it. I know. You cussing motherfuckers out on the low end. I get it. You know what I mean? Be sweet as fuck. Are y'all a couple? Y'all just hanging out? Are y'all a couple or y'all hanging out? That's you? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Goddamn white women be mad as hell when they see you walking. Oh, really? And you be like, bitch, I got him, bitch. You see it. And he look like he eating good, so he's sitting up front, he comfortable and shit. That's what I'm coming to kick it with you when I leave this motherfucker. That motherfucker home eating grits and shit. Y'all see, that look like a squash casserole house right there. That's them goddamn, them neck bones and greens and shit. Them beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Ian Hayes. Y'all have a good night. Give it all for Ian.
Get it now? Good. One last thing I need to say about DC. What in the fuck is up with whoever designed your roads? Was he drunk, stoned, and extra chromosomed? An 8 in the road? This is driving, not figure skating. Even the GPS was like, man, I don't know, I'm about to go to GTA mode to get you to your destination. Fuck it, hit a hooker. And now, on to New York City. The one and only time I have been to New York was with my grandmother at 13 to go to a cousin's bar mitzvah. So that was a very specific type of experience. This experience was so much more amazing. No disrespect to my cousin, solid party. But let's set the stage. As Mr. Hayes and I go through the Lincoln Tunnel, playing appropriate New York-themed music and him going into New York accent mode, this meant a lot of get out of here, and yeah, that's Tommy from the 2-3. We got to New York with rain on the drive and a rainbow in the sky when we arrived. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 6, The City That Never Sleeps. Let's talk about expectations. Mr. Hayes wanted an authentic New York experience. Oddly enough, this meant for him seeing penises and grown men peeing in the subway or on the sidewalk. And as he described it, when they did it, they would pull their pants down to their knees. Mr. Hayes then exclaimed, "Why?" Me? I wanted a more magical experience with music and beauty and my weirdness, and I feel I got that. I napped when we got to New York because I love a nap, and we ventured to Times Square around midnight. As Mr. Hayes pointed out, and I agreed with instantly, this is the city that never sleeps. All I have seen of New York is from TV and media, and I will say, and this is no disrespect to this great city, but I thought things in it were going to be bigger. Radio City Music Hall, Times Square, the Empire State Building. I just thought they were bigger. Guess the TV really does add 10 pounds. Here is something I learned from Mr. Hayes during this time. It is okay to give homeless people ghost pepper wings from Popeyes, but you do not give them the biscuit without something to drink. That would be mean and possibly life-threatening or attempted murder. The city itself, amazing, beautiful. Where DC failed on construction, New York killed it. How you have so much going on and it doesn't feel claustrophobic is beyond me. I was worried about overstimulation, taking in so much that my brain halts, and I couldn't get enough. We were only in New York for 2 days. That was not enough time. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 7, Central Park, Music, and Papa Smurf. The next day was Halloween, and I wanted a day filled with music, so off I went to Central Park. As I went into the subway, there was a guy playing a guitar. Yeah, this is starting out right. When I got off the subway, there were 2 teenage girls on the corner, and one asked me, "Are you Jewish?" Now, I'm from the South, so when that question is asked to me, it is usually because someone wants to tell me about their religion and how I can be saved. So defensively, I answered, "Yes." And she goes, "Oh, you are? Here's a present," and proceeds to hand me Shabbat candles with the message on them, "Take time to do what makes your soul happy." See the candles? See? Isn't that sweet? After I had a bit of a wander, let's be honest, I got lost. But I ended up in the prettiest neighborhood and saw a celebrity. She was so pretty, and there was a lot of eye contact. Then I finally made it to Central Park. Shut the fuck up. I am in Central Park on Halloween in fucking New York. It was at this time and another time in DC, high on the hill in Arlington, that I had this thought. I have spent the last 13 years only looking at and caring for my late husband and dealing with his family. There was a time when my world was so small and specific. Well, look at me now, motherfuckers. I get to see the sky in all its vastness. I know what it means to be free. And what this feeling is freedom. It is freedom from the pain, the self-sacrifice that cost me a piece of my soul, the lies, and the idea that pride rules all. The world is beautiful and entertaining and wonderful and filled with people with their own stories, like a reverse Fahrenheit 451. And they and the world are beautiful. As I entered the park, I was immediately approached by a psychic Swami scammer. He told me that 2023 was a difficult year for me, as well as 2024. He then said that 2025 is getting better, and by the end of the year, I will be happy. That is such a lovely thought. And when he asked for a donation, I gave him $5. He was, after all, a human. He then had me pick a series of numbers, and he guided me in choosing one. Dude, my grandfather taught me a card trick that is based off of that. I know what you did there. I ignored my temptation to explain this to him and show him the card trick, merely for the fact that I didn't have a deck of cards on me. When he asked for another donation, I politely declined. Then he went on repeat asking for donations, and I said, "Sir, I am a very broken woman. I have given you what I could. I hope you have a great day and a nice life." He walked off and out of the park, and I returned to my task of smoking a cigarette. I did have the goal of smoking a blunt in Central Park, and that goal was met. Celebrate the little victories, or just be stoned by them. Also, Mr. Hayes had gotten us some moon rocks from the big lit-up cannabis store in New York. I hate that I didn't go in, but that was for my safety. I may have never left. And the moon rocks? Well done, New York. Well done. I only wish I had more. The first task for me was to find the highest ground in the park, and I did. From here, I can get my bearings and take amazing pictures. My overall goal for the day was music. I wanted to hear music in Central Park. I came upon a violinist who played beautifully. I recorded a video. See? Beautiful. And as I was walking away from him, he was playing La Vie en Rose. Just perfect. Because if there is one thing I have learned, it's how to see life through rose-colored glasses. It was at this point that Mr. Hayes and I met up and ventured through the park together. This afforded me comfort to explore more. If there is one thing I love, it is a dark staircase or hallway leading off somewhere. And I am lucky that Mr. Hayes is the same. And when I say he found the most magical staircase, ladies, let me just say this: bathrooms. And after the bathroom, we continued down to a woman singing. If an angel and a mermaid and a siren made a baby, this would be her. She could easily be the reason why sailors crash their ships. I recorded her singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Check it out. orgasm of the ears. Absolutely beautiful. We continued walking through the park and found an area filled with so much music, almost an alley of music, and I was happy and content. The cacophony and the drums and the flutes and even a lute was just magical. We then ventured to Brooklyn. There was a concert about to start there, and it was swimming with people, happy and in costumes. I will say my favorite costume of all night that I saw was on the subway. We were in a jam-packed subway car, and I fat girl squished myself into a corner seat with Mr. Hayes standing. I lean back and look over and see Papa Smurf. He mouths to me, "I'm Papa Smurf." And I mouth back, "I can tell." Let me explain. He was not painted blue, and he was the most perfect Papa Smurf. He looked like what AI would make when they do those fictional characters as humans. I mean, exactly like that. Down to the red cheeks and the blue sparkly eyes. Well done, sir. By Brooklyn, I was losing steam and patience and decided to go to bed. It was a great day. I was content. And I slept so fucking good. Lynn Logic, episode 44, part 8. Coming home and choosing happiness. The next morning we were slated to go to Philadelphia, then Boston, then Virginia. But we were both done and needed to go home. Let me explain, at least for me. For 25 years, I have worked in jobs that have given me 2 weeks vacation. Have you ever taken a 2-week vacation? I haven't. So yes, we scheduled it for 2 weeks because I wanted to see what a 2-week vacation was like. The first thing I learned, that takes a staff to plan. And I needed to get home and take care of shit. I was missed. That was a nice thing to come back to. I was missed. Previously, when I was married, taking a weekend vacation was the most I was allowed. And that didn't come without guilt and shame throughout the weekend and coming home to anger that I had fun without him. This trip was so much better. And Mr. Hayes needed to get home too. So for the second time in my life, I have done a 10-hour drive. To hear about the first time, check out the Lynn Logic episode number 42 with my best friend Bunny. As we left New York, Mr. Hayes blasted Country Shit Remix by Big Crit, Ludacris, and Big Bun. So if you heard it, you're welcome. I have to tell you, it was fun and enjoyable. Mr. Hayes serenaded me with what he called ugly face R&B. And I got it. The kind where it's so good, you make an ugly face listening to it. You know the face. It's like when you smell something bad and the sun is shining in your eyes at the same time. So he practiced his ugliest of faces, and I laughed and listened. Wait, is this the black man version of the white man overbite dancing technique? You know what I mean. I got that from When Harry Met Sally. It's this. I like the black man ugly face singing better. It works better with music. The white man version looks like they're excited about having a chicken wrap and a smoothie. And Mr. Hayes entertained my idea for a side quest to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We ventured around Chocolate World, and I don't like being negative. But the thing I was most surprised with there is, simply put, you can tell which ones have season passes. Look, I'm a big girl. Always have been. But, if you look like you're fine with losing a foot to diabetes, in fact, you hope it happens in the park so you can get it chocolate dipped, you may want to skip the gelato on the way out. We did it, and it was so fucking good. And I got a snow globe and a Hershey's bar. Color me sugar high. This was my only souvenir purchase this entire trip. Let me explain. It's no secret that I love the weird and will want to acquire weird shit everywhere I go. And I was in DC and New York. There is so much weird there. But the souvenirs for this trip were all experiences and memories and pictures. I wanted to see everything and remember the details. I am not done with New York. There is still so much to explore and see and experience. I cannot wait to go back. Maybe have a New Yorker take us around this time. I would love for a local to show us their New York. This trip had so many purposes, and I don't think I realized what they were until I got back. I walked around New York by myself, and I was comfortable and happy. What agoraphobia. This trip is just the first of one. I cannot wait to see the magic of this world. You know I am already thinking about the next trip. I have learned so much on this trip. About myself, other important people in my life, and the world. And I want to learn more. Happiness is a choice. I wake up every morning and choose to be happy. I choose to see the beauty. I choose to love. And my adventure is only beginning. Chin up, tits out, bye. Hi. Are you a woman with a business? I am. Have you risen above expectations of you? Have you persevered in spite of being pulled back? You're a woman, so I assume those are both yeses. We are women. We are the ones who hold things together as they fall apart. We are forged in the fire. We survive, and we rise from the ashes. I am a woman who lost everything. My husband, my future, my home, my family, my career, my cat. All in the matter of 10 months. I survived a blood clot in my brain caused by birth control pills. After 20 years of chronic headaches, migraines, and migraine attacks. I'm the daughter of a man who spent 23 years in prison. I've been abused, raped, beaten, manipulated, gaslit, and bullied. And with all that trauma, I still smile, I still laugh, and I still love. And after all that, I am still here. I am not just here, I have arrived. I spent 25 years in accounting and operations, and I have a love of patterns and analytics. I've used that love to practice with my social media accounts, and I've been outperforming normal projected growth. I started on Facebook in March of this year and already have over 4,600 followers. I started on my YouTube channel in July, which now has over 1,200 subscribers. I'm also working on TikTok and Instagram. I'm building. It's what I do. And I want to share my audience with other women. I want to build women up. Are you in the Charlotte area, visiting, or have you always meant to visit? Do you want to make a friend? I have a show on YouTube called Lynn Logic, and you can find me, Lynn Levine, there. I'm creating a series called Women Forged in Fire, and I want you as a guest on my show. I want to support my sisters and help them. Let's have a conversation about you and your business. I promise I'll make you laugh. I've built a program that includes guest appearances and advertising, up to advertising on my cleavage. Look, they're going to look there. They've been looking there since I got them at 14. So let's just use the space to promote your business. So let's let my OCD, my ADHD, and my neurodivergent brain do what it does best. If you're interested, email me at lynnlevine@gmail.com with the subject line, Women Forged in Fire. Send me a little about you and your business. If you'd like to send me products, I'll feature it on my show and give you a shout out. My mailing address is 1233 The Plaza, P.O. Box 5159, Charlotte, North Carolina 28299. Once I receive your email, I'll review it and offer a 15-minute Google Meet with me. Let's have a conversation. Talk about you. I already know about me. Now, I'm in Charlotte and I'm not paying for travel. This is for promotional and advertising purposes for you. After that 15-minute interview, I'll send you the program information and pricing guide, and we'll discuss what you want. Let me know if you have a goal. I like those. So women who are kind, logical, and true, and who run their business with integrity, I want to offer you the Lynn Logic Approved badge and invite you to join the Lynn Logic Club. And as I said, I build. It's what I do. And I'm just getting started. So women, I invite you. Let's build together. Chin up, tits out. Bye. Hi, we are on our way to New York, and I just want to show you something. This motherfucker has got a blunt in his hand, unlit, and he's smoking a blunt. Yeah.
I still don't feel like I have enough weed on.
Probably don't. Oh. See you in New York.
Okay.
I'm in the Lincoln Tunnel right now. Call me on Facebook right quick.
Okay.
I don't know. Hi. It is about 2 a.m. in New York, and we just got to Times Square, and it is so fucking unbelievable. I mean, it's incredible. Oh my god. Also, just so much fun.
Куда бы дело хотя бы?
О, под коляску!
Getting ready to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and these are the roads there. I don't know why they have an amusement park. As Mr. Hayes said, the drive there is the roller coaster.